Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to time up this loosing, that we're going to see that there's been a binding of these beings from the past that many people just call the fallen ones. But there's two levels of binding. There's a physical binding and there's a spiritual binding. We're not going to get into that. What we're going to associate ourselves with is the connection to the world age. And we've just begun that association. To keep things in perspective, let's maintain that we're seeing here at the end of an age, okay, because we're seeing what the Bible terms is a kingdom age coming up, okay, and that's going to be in Revelation 20. We're going to find out that a kingdom age is coming. Now, we're in chapter 9 in Revelation 20, so in the future here, they're proclaiming this kingdom age that's coming. Well, what we're talking about is the ending of an age. Now, that's called a world age. A world age is simultaneously the ending and the beginning at the same time. So in other words, it is a symbol for the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and an end. A circle is geometrically the only thing that can be a beginning and an end. So a cyclic circle of time is which we're talking about. So the first thing we see here is to understand is that these angels are not being loosed at exactly this time on this hour, but they're being prepared for that time of this hour. But they're actually being loosed beforehand. But the loosing is in preparation for this particular hour. Now, the hour itself is the revealing of the return of the Lord of the earth, who would be Lord of the Apsu, Lord of the flowing waters, or as you might call him, Apollyon, the devil, God of this earth. So now we want to make one more connection here. We want to go to the book of Job. Now we see that if you research the ancient Hebrew letter, you're going to find out that star is synonymous with angel, that star and angel are flip-flop between the same meaning. Now here we are in Job chapter 41, or Job chapter 38, and we're looking at verse 31. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? First thing that you need to associate here is that you just saw the loosing in association with these angels, okay? And this is the future age that we're in now. Now this is the past, which Job is asking this very same question. Who is going to be able to bind these angels? Pleiades is a constellation. Constellations are star origins. In other words, what we're hearing is the symbolic origin of these associations of these fallen angels from Genesis 6. And I've explained to you, using the Bible, how they're not actually angels, but we're talking about the descendants, living descendants of the sons of God, who are now a race and a tribe of men who have been living within the inner earth. And it's all scriptural, and we support it heavily. And it's what's about to happen to this world with the releasing of these locusts from the inner earth. The locusts are one and the same with the connection with the Pleiades, which is connected to the Orion, which is go figure, because that's exactly what these aliens are calling themselves by these same constellational names, right on down to Arcturus. So it's easy to see that Job is asking at this time, who's going to be able to bind them? And then he's wondering, who's going to loose them? Notice that he's binding, or asking the binding of sweet influences. Well, sweet influences would be temptation. Loose the bands of Orion would be control. Now, if you want to think about this quickly, think about Orion and then Iron Cross. And then think about what Satan says about going to and fro, up and down, all over the earth. Well, that creates a cross. Well, you know of that occult symbol, which is the Iron Cross. Well, now you know what the bands of Orion are. They are the bands of this iron cross of control of the four cardinal points of the compass. And Job is asking, who shall loose these bands of Orion? Or in other words, this iron cross.